good, everyone? This is Bamboozled Black Baby Boomer with another video, which is part 2 of how to tap into HUBZone businesses to find employment. What you're looking at today is the General Services Administration catalog known as the e-library. This is a list of schedules, and on these schedules are hundreds of pre-vetted, approved businesses that government officials can go to buy products and services. And as you can see, there are a ton of these schedules. And before I get started, the first thing I need to do is some house cleaning, housekeeping, if you will. First off, I did the video earlier, which was part 1, in which I said that the map I used should have been a Google Maps map. It, in fact, was Google Maps. I guess I was thrown off by the delays in panning and zooming and refreshing that this map was doing. And another thing I needed to let you know was the government is actually mandated to attempt to spend 3% of its contracting dollars with HUBZone businesses, and the government as a whole usually falls short of that. They're usually in the low to mid 2% range. So, but we're still talking about millions of dollars. So, it's, like I said, it is a very ripe market still, as long as the government still wants to uphold small business. It seems these days like the only thing keeping small business alive is government procurement, given the fact that if it weren't for the government, every small business would be getting swallowed by the bigger ones, and that's never a good thing in my opinion. But anyway, that's enough of that. Okay, back to the GSA e-library. Now yesterday, not yesterday, that's when yesterday was October 9th. Today is October 10th, and it is a little before 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast of the United States, near the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Yesterday we talked about the top 10 industries for HUBZone contractors, and that was back in FY13, fiscal year 13, which would have been October 1st, 2012 to September 30th, 2013. During this year, this 1 year period, the government spent with HUBZone businesses nearly $1.3 billion on commercial and institutional building construction, and they spent $396 million on other heavy and civil engineering construction, and $390 million on computer related services or other computer related services. And again, these are all areas that HUBZone contractors were contracted with by the federal government to provide all these services. Okay, let's go back to GSA, the GSA e-library schedule, and what I'm going to show you is how to find some businesses that you might want to contact to, say, hey, I might be able to help you, especially since I actually live in a HUBZone. Now, you don't have to live in a HUBZone. That was the purpose of yesterday's video, was to see if you to determine if you actually lived in a HUBZone, because as we said, the HUBZone program in part requires that that companies that locate within HUBZones and to get that certification must have 35% of its employees live in HUBZones. So it is the government's way of, generating economic activity in like what I call the hood, or in rural areas, or former military installations, or areas that are declared disaster areas temporarily. Those would be temporary hub zones, the ones in disaster areas, and military installations that are recently closed. Um, so that again, that you want to know if you can, if you, let's say you live in a hub zone. Let's say if you live in a hub zone, okay, fine, that's wonderful. Now you want to find a hub zone that you might want to work for, a hub zone business you might want to work for. And this e-library, which is part of the General Services Administration Federal Acquisition Service, is a treasure trove of information that not a lot of people know about. I only know it because I've worked for government contractors who have been on these schedules, and we do check to see what new bids or what RFPs come out on these schedules. And that's the other thing about these schedules is if you can get on one, your competition is somewhat limited. Now, granted, you got some schedules like GSA Schedule 70, which is mostly information technology. It seems like everybody and their mother are on that particular schedule, but not everybody goes after all the same bids. So that's a whole nother area of government contracting. You have your, basically what the government does now is give out hunting licenses. You're pre-approved, and then you are able to bid on certain areas. Like some agencies have their own what are known as IDIQs, in the indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts. You'll see a lot of these companies say, well, we won this contract with DHS, which has a ceiling of $10 billion. Yeah, you and about like 5,000 other mofos have won this contract too. Now you've got to compete at the task order level. You're overall approved by DHS, Homeland Security, but now you're having to compete at the task order level. And I'll give you a good example of that a little later on. But right now, let's get into I've talked enough. Let's get into the e-library real quick. Let's talk about, I didn't see a whole lot for commercial and institutional building construction, actual building construction. I saw a lot for facility support, some for facility support, but let's go with computer-related services, since a lot of millennials and Gen Xers like to talk about getting your certifications, your IT certifications in various areas. So let's take a look at GSA Schedule 70 and filter out what we're going to end up doing is filtering out all the hub zones under that schedule. So let's go to, okay, here's the schedule list, and here's the source, here's the description. Let's scroll down to GSA Schedule 70, which is General Purpose Commercial Information Technology Equipment, Software, and Services. Of course, over here, this verbiage pretty much says that state and local government entities can also buy information technology through this schedule. So in other words, if I work for, say, the Department of, let's say the IRS, and I need to issue a quick RFP for some services, I'll issue it on 70 and let all the bidders all the companies who are on 70 know this. And if I want to, do a set aside, I can do it that way. I can issue it that way, and then let's see who comes out. Let's see who bids, and whoever gives us the best price or best value, we'll hire them. So anyway, here we go. Let's click on the number 70. Now, here is a whole page for 70 itself. And under each schedule, you have what are known as special item numbers or SINs. Here they're called categories, but they're known as special item numbers. And you've got a ton of these. Ancillary supplies and services, which are sort of, says here, they're not within the scope of any other SIN on this schedule. Okay, you've got cloud computing, Earth observation, continuous diagnostics and mitigation tools, like managing what is on the network, who is on the network, how is it protected, etc. Introduction of new information technology services and or products. And you've got then you have another category of commercial satellite communications, cyber hunt, in other words, you know, mitigating immediate and potential threats, identity, credential, and access management. In other words, keeping the wrong bad guys off of a system. You've got all kinds of SINs for that. Incident response, penetration testing, products, and let's see. Okay, we have risk and vulnerability assessments. Services. We're going to go with services because I've actually done this before, so I'm just going to show you. I've actually I've actually pulled up services and done my own little filtering, so I'll just redo it for you guys. Okay, so let's go with 13251. That is the SIN, or the special item number for information technology professional services, which also is subject to cooperative purchasing with state and local entities. In other words, if you're a procurement official with I don't know, Trenton, New Jersey, and you're allowed to, you can go to this schedule and see who can provide you with some services. So anyway, and here are some subcategories. Auto info system design and integration, automated news data and other information services, CAD, computer-aided drafting services, desktop management, IT backup and security, data conversion, facility operation and maintenance, network management, IT systems analysis, IT systems development, information assurance, and programming services. So this is the category, these are the subcategories. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on 13251 and voila, we have a listing of a bunch of different contractors. All of these are companies that are all over the United States that have been vetted by the United States government and are allowed to compete to provide IT services. Okay? And now here we have 3,484 contractors. That's a lot. So what we're going to do is go to this area here. We want to filter these down. Here are the categories. We have a number of different small business categories that the government uses for set-aside purposes. You have small business. Let's see. You got small business, women-owned business. Okay. You've got women-owned, veteran-owned small businesses. You've got, this is kind of hard to scroll through. You've got SBA certified small disadvantaged businesses, SBI certified 8A. Now the 8A is a whole nother large program. But for now, we're going to just do SBI certified HUBZone firm. So we're going to just click on that one, and we're going to hit go. And now we're down to a much more manageable list of 220 contractors. Now, here's where it gets fun. Here's where it becomes really, really fun. Let's for craps and giggles look at let's see here. Babaricom LLC of Washington D.C. And as you can see, they're authorized to sell through cooperative purchasing. They're authorized to sell to state and local governments, and this disaster purchasing icon indicates that state and local governments may procure disaster purchasing products and services from this contract. And this is the GSA contract number. Here's their phone number, where they're located, and they're a small business. They're disadvantaged. Looks like they're a disabled veteran and HUBZone. We'll click on this, and here is their contract for professional services. And we can go to, let's scroll down. This will also give you an idea how much you'll get paid, because this is what these contractors are charging the government. Again, these are pre-negotiated rates, and these are all the here are all the different labor categories. You've got consultants. They've got numbered consultants here that that can manage projects. Let's see what else here. Okay, they just have that. They have a commitment to promote small business participation procurement programs. And in other words, we'll try to bring on teammates who are small businesses. And let's see what else here. Here is their price list. All they really have are just lists of consultants, senior executives, subject matter experts, program support analysts. But check this out. Here you have, so for a senior executive, they're going to charge the government $238.56 an hour, which if you work it means if you work for this company in this position, you might get paid half or 60%, and this company is going to the rest of this money is going to cover overhead, benefits, profit, and all that good stuff. So this is what Barbaricum would charge the government for the services of all these folks. Isn't that great? So let's go back. Okay. So let's do another one. Let's see if we can find another one. Boy. Comtech Computer Technologies. Okay, no, let's try another one. Here's one. Datavise Information Technology Services in Burnett, Texas. Let's look at. They're small, they're disabled veteran, they're disadvantaged, they have 8A status, and they're a HUBZone. So let's take a look at there. Ooh, okay, so we're going to have to save this to my desktop because this is a Word document. Let's click on it and see what they're talking about. Okay, hit enable editing. Okay, there's Datavise. For some reason we lost. There's their logo, and this is their authorized federal supplies service IT schedule price list. Current through May 28th of 2019, and this is their contract. Just scrolling through it. You can do this at your leisure. I'm just doing this for demonstrative purposes rather. Look, all this is This is all public information, folks. It's out there. It's just that no one but me is going to tell you. No one but Bamboozled is going to show you all this. So you got, here are your labor categories. You have a senior program manager. You have a program management manager, voice communications manager, director of security programs, and so on. And we'll scroll down through. If you have any of these skills, you'll be golden. Trust me. You should anyway. You should be golden anyway. And this is a company in Texas, but they can do work anywhere in the United States. Web manager, web software developer, web designer, web technical administrator, logistics technician lead, technical writer. I actually done some technical writing. I could probably go to these folks and say, hey, I can maybe help you. Junior technical writer. So, and here are the hourly bill rates for all these folks, and some of these are a little bit lower than what we saw in the past. Let's go down to technical writer, just because that's near and dear to my old ass heart. Let's see here. So a technical writer commands anywhere from, as of right now, through August of 2018, a tech writer will only command like $44.36. Now that doesn't mean the writer's going to get paid that. The writer might get paid, I don't know, maybe 30 or maybe $30 an hour, maybe 25. I don't know. But see, these are all rates that a company will charge the government. And this, again, it includes not only the hourly rate that they're going to pay the person, but it also takes in G&A. I forgot to mention that earlier. General and administrative. You have your overhead, your benefits, and the cost of running the business, and your profit. So, but if you get enough of these contracts as a business owner, you can do pretty well. So there you go. There you have that. Okay, okay, so that gives you a flavor of what these companies are offering the government. And this is how, I'm just giving you an idea of how you can use this information for your own benefit. Now, to download a list, this is where having Excel comes in. It would be good, excuse me, if you had Excel on your computer, but if you don't have Excel, you could use Excel Viewer, but you wouldn't be able to edit, and I wouldn't recommend that because you'll need to edit. Or you can use that open source program called Open Office, or you can buy Microsoft Office flat out, or buy a subscription to Office 365. I have the Office 365 annual subscription. Cost me $100 a year, and the advantage is that your stuff is going to get updated. All your programs are going to get updated. That includes Word, Outlook, Excel, etc. So what we're going to do now is hit this button here called this link, Download Contractors. And what it's going to give you is the column format. The source, the category or SIN number, vendor, address, first line of the address, second line of the address, city, state, zip, country, etc. All the socioeconomic indicators, and whether or not the company can do the state and local purchase, selling as well. So what I'm going to do is hit download, and I am going to hit save. I'm downloading it to my desktop, and what it's doing is it's saying I downloaded this on 10/10/2017, 8:48 a.m. and 22 seconds. So you can probably rename this. So what I'm going to do is click on that. It says format extension of this file number don't match. Do you want to open it anyway? I'll just say yes. I'm going to open it anyway. And there we go. I'm going to hit enable editing, and here is my spreadsheet. And let's take a okay, I'm missing my scroll bar here. I'm missing my scroll bar. Let's just hit okay. So okay. What's happening here is I'm missing my scroll bar, and I need to resize my screen here. Anyhow, let's do this real quickly. What I'm going to do here is, let me see, can I resize this? Oops. See if I can pan. Yeah, I did not. I should have done my whole screen, but I did not. But anyway, let's do this real quick. As you can see, here is the list of hub zones that are under Schedule 70 for category 13251. And what I'm going to do is, you probably won't be able to see this on screen, but I'm going to click data in the data menu, and it'll give me something called the filter. So I'm going to click on filter, and what I'm going to do is filter out some of the locations. Being that I live in the DC area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the state field or column, click on state. I'm going to unclick all of these and then click on DC. These are all the states that are listed in this spreadsheet. I'm going to click on DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And now I have a listing of 443 out of the 226 records. Now let's do something a little fun here. I'm going to go to, let's just pick out a company in Washington. Let's do eLogic in Washington DC. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the inside of this cell, hit enter, and it becomes a hyperlink. So we're going to click on this and see if we can get eLogic. And yes, we do. We have eLogic, and there they are, eLogic Technology Solutions. As you can see, they're SBA. Oh, they got a fancy animated website here. They are SBA 8A certified. They are HUBZone certified. They're on the GSA schedule, and they have a couple of other schedules. Seaport E, that's a Navy purchasing schedule. That's a huge one. And they're DCAA compliant. That means that they've been audited. Their accounting system that the government requires is up to snuff. So about us, what they do, here, let's look at their mission. They're minority owned, they're small disadvantaged, they're a business. They were established in '07, which was 10 years ago, and they're headquartered in D.C. with offices in Florida and Virginia and Florida, and they support an array of contracts. And these are their NAICS codes, and they do a lot of IT work, as you can see. So here's where it gets to be fun. You can see that they are located in DC, and they are a hub zone. They are technically a hub zone, as I showed you before. they are there is a part of DC that is a hub zone. So let's go to the careers page, go to the opportunities, and they've got a number of it doesn't look like they have a lot, but again, these are locations where they're supporting, more likely supporting some federal contracts. You got a network administrator, project manager in Mexico, audiovisual engineer, SharePoint trainer, AV technician, and so on. But the beauty of this, folks, is that when you can actually, if you see a company you would actually like to work for, you've got their, not only their address, not only their name and address, you've got their phone number, and you have your the email, and their contract runs out on September 21st of 2019. This is their DUNS number. A DUNS number is a government required identifier that's issued by Dun and Bradstreet, which is kind of like the credit tracking entity that tracks business credit. So anyway, this is a way, what I'm showing you here is a way of filtering out businesses, especially hub zones. These are all hub zone certified businesses. If you live in one of these, if you live in a hub zone, you can you can go to that GSA website and look for not just IT. There are a number of different categories of services that are provided. And these are all companies. Keep in mind, these are all companies that have been vetted and are approved by our government. And these are companies that are always on the lookout for good people, to support their contracts. Now, keep in mind, contracts are only good for maybe, depending on the length, it could be a base year and 4 option years, so altogether 5 years. Although the government can shut down a contract anytime it feels like it due to funding and the machinations in Congress in terms of how they fund things. So fund programs or fund agencies, fund the government. So my point is, this is a good way of, I think, tapping into a hidden job market. And just you can just here are all your phone numbers. You can go through and call them all. You can set your Excel spreadsheet up to be you can set it up with a Skype or something like that. I'm not even going to get into that. Where you can click on each phone number and it'll do the dialing for you. So this is really, I think, a really great way of doing things. And frankly, I kind of stumbled on this myself over time. I picked a lot of this stuff up over time and just wanted to share it with you. So if you if you have any questions, holler at me in the comments section below this video, and then I'll try to answer it the best way I can. If you want to give me a call, or if you want to sit down with me and consult, maybe we can we can negotiate a consulting rate. But in the meantime, I'm hoping this has been helpful. I'm sorry for my rambling. I don't go with a script, and that's just how this is just how Bamboozled rolls. I just hope you stay with me. You can stay with me for a half hour while I'm talking, like while I'm stopping, starting, and interrupting myself, etc. So, but as I always say, if you like this video, please share this video. Please click on, let's try that again. If you like this video, please share this video. Please like this video, and please subscribe to my channel. And also, please click on the bell so that when Bamboozled Black Baby Boomer uploads new content, you will be notified. Until next time, this is Bamboozled Black Baby Boomer saying peace, deuces, and God bless.